Rocco, what happened with Buck? Was it on the strikeout that he kind of tweaked it, and then going into the field, or what happened?
I'm not sure exactly when, he tweaked his hip, but he had a few things go on today where you could tell he was really feeling it. And we know over the last few days he's, been in a spot where he's been on the verge of not being able to go out there, not being able to swing or run and do such things, but he's continued to post up and he's continued to go out there and play at, I don't know what percentage he's at, but it's not a high percentage of what he can normally do physically, but he wants to play. And we want him out there, and we've continued to push him, and he's pushed. But he couldn't get through what happened out there. We call it hip soreness. I don't know what it is. He's going to have an MRI. He's doing it right now, getting it looked at, so we know exactly what we're dealing with.
Have he had any hip problem before today?
Yeah, for a while, for most of the season, I would say, I don't know if most, but for a good part of the season.
So it was already bothering him before he went out today?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is stuff he deals with all the time.
Okay.
The guy is a warrior. The guy goes out there and plays through things that are not imaginable for many, both other players and people watching, and Byron Buxton fans. What he's done to this point in the year has been pretty amazing with the physical difficulties that he's had. But right now, I don't most likely see him, playing tomorrow or anything like that. I think we're going to have to, learn more, but it's not something that I think is going to be, we're going to treat it as a day-to-day issue, but it could be more than a day-to-day issue.
Rocco, are you sure you're taking him with you to Houston?
I'm not. I can't say that for sure. We'll have to see what the results of this test say, and then talk with our medical staff.
He missed a couple of weeks last year with the right hip situation. I don't know if it's at all tied to that or anything.
I don't either. Truthfully, bigger picture, I mean, sometimes players have certain things that bother them, and other parts of their bodies are always fine for their whole careers. This could be, something that Buck has. This is something that Buck has dealt with before in some way. But again, most of the things that he's dealt with this year, all the discussions we've had about him, and for good reason. I mean, he's such an important part of everything going on here. Most of what he's dealt with, we haven't even talked about. So, all that said, we're going to wait until we find out more before I can say any more.
You guys have taken so much pride in keeping him off the IL and just keeping him out there with you guys, but is there any sense with the hip and the knee and everything that you mentioned, just regardless of what the results are, just give him time, like give him 10 days to just heal up?
Yeah, he likes to grind through everything. And, I mean, he's wanted to play through broken bone, things that you can't play baseball with. He wants to be there for his team and his teammates. That's what he wants. And he finds ways. We'll see what this, equates to once we put all the pieces together. And, I mean, there have been many times this year where we've thought, 10 days or 15 days might really help. But we've decided to keep pushing him out there because that's what we decided, but that's also what he's wanted. And again, we won't know exactly what the next week entails for him for another little while until we get these results back and then talk.
It's also because you're an exponentially better team, even with him at half speed, than you are without him. Right?
I think that's a very, very fair statement to make, and I think it's accurate.
What was his just demeanor, I guess, coming off the field and getting sent off for these images?
So I wasn't actually there. I actually found out that he had to come out of the game while I was doing a couple of other things on the bench, and he was Jason and I talked, and he said Buck's going to have to come out, and I said okay, and then I had to go out and make the move with the umpires soon after. So normally, if he or one of the guys is dealing with something like that, I'll go run upstairs real quick and see them during the game for a minute. I didn't even get a chance to do that. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
Carlos said after the game here, he said, bad execution on our part tonight. Would you go that far, or do you think it's just, I know you've been, hitting is hitting, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but do you feel in a similar way that the team probably could have done better at the plate?
Well, I think I think that's Carlos being pretty objective about what's going on. And you can still remain confident, and you can still believe in the people around you and your team as a whole, and still acknowledge that you're in a rut. I mean, there's no way to watch us play and not see it. But energy and momentum are a pretty amazing thing, and I've seen things turn around on the spot for an entire group at the snap of your fingers, and I think that's to come because we have a talented group of hitters and guys that you want coming to the plate in important spots, and you've seen them come through so many times in important spots. That's what we're looking for, and someone is going to do that for us. One of these guys is going to take the bull by the horns and do that, and then the rest of them are going to follow.
4 years here, I don't think I've really ever seen you often use 3 of your leverage guys while trailing. You guys don't really chase. Was that just kind of a sense of giving your offense a chance to turn the narrative when they've been getting guys on base in the early innings and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Well, I believe in our offense, and when we have opportunities to do that, and it isn't every day, but when we have opportunities to give your guys a chance to come back and win the game, we're going to do it. And we did that. The guys we brought in out of the bullpen, they threw the ball really well, and we only needed in a couple of these games, a good at bat or two, and to make something happen. And that's what we're looking for. We didn't need 4 runs to come back and win the game. We needed a couple. We weren't able to do it. But that's what we're doing. And when we can do that, we will. And we have 40 some odd games left here. And our players want to get out there and contribute. It doesn't have to be in the most usual circumstances, and everyone just pitches in a certain. No, I mean, we sent our guys out there, challenged them. And I think I and the staff and each other in the clubhouse, their teammates, they're going to keep challenging each other until we figure out where we need to be and until we get the job done. But I mean, I feel like we're right there, and we got to just grab it.
In terms of execution, do you view it more as a physical thing or a mental thing, or about like just following through on the game plan once you're actually at the plate?
It's, it really is all of the above. And in times like this, I don't know if we have to bring some instruments out there, or we need to, start, hanging some flags and, having something to chime, like we have the gong in the clubhouse or something. You almost need to distract yourself sometimes from what's actually going on, so you're not just grinding on one particular point. The entire time where you're out there. And that point is, just putting a good swing on the ball with people on base. And it's a really easy thing to do when it's coming in bunches. It feels so easy. And when it's not coming in bunches, it feels really hard. And in reality, it's probably somewhere right there in the middle. But again, we gave ourselves opportunities. The runs are there for the taking, and time to take them.